They call me They call me Don't leave me
Good morning. 263 billion. Absolutely spanked 250 billion as foreseen. Could easily make another prediction, but it's rising so fast. We all know that's going to hit 275 before we know it. I'm just expecting the December to January months to be very pivotal in the market cap and cryptocurrencies in general. There's a lot of money coming in, a lot of new awareness. We have just rapidly, now the awareness shift for crypto is absolutely massive. So we have a lot of filling out to do. Didn't do yesterday's show. It was Thanksgiving, but an unexpected tragedy. My girlfriend's grandpa died suddenly of a heart attack. Had the funeral yesterday. So that's the thing about life. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And, you know, you could have your plans, but those don't matter. What really matters is accepting the fact that you're on a boat and you can only control what direction you're going so much. But we all know the water is the one carrying you. So just decided to take the day off yesterday. I didn't feel like really doing anything. And that's the luxury of being able to afford my personal freedom, where I can do what I want when I want. Don't have to answer to anybody. But just, you know, life's a lot like these crypto markets, because you're gonna have your explosions. You're gonna have your big ups. But no matter what, you're gonna hit a ceiling in life. Something's gonna happen. You can't go up forever. And it's how you handle these downs. And a lot of people cannot handle these downs. And that's where all the character is built. I like to say in crypto, you know, you're not making the money up here. You're not creating the value up here. You're not growing up here. You're growing down here when you can tough it out. You can have the foresight, when you can have the risk, when you can go for it. That's the thing about life and risk in general. The reason it's called risk is because you can lose. And nobody likes to lose. So if you put yourself in a situation where it's favorable to losing, when you're going way down like this, you know, nobody's thinking about winning. And so many people are so quick to jump coins when it's going down, when they see something going up. I don't know how, it's a crazy percentage, but I have no idea how many people actually lose money in crypto, even though, how can you lose money in cryptocurrency even though the market cap is constantly rising? You just have to ask yourself that question, because if you're ever selling for a loss, then just to chase gains, I mean, there was so many people who sold for a loss and bought QuantStamp. It's funny, I wanted to get into the QuantStamp ICO. I was pissed because I did the proof of carrying. I tweeted. I even mentioned it in the video. I talked to them on Facebook, talked to the CEOs. They were like, cool, we got you. And when the whitelist came, it said my, you know, I didn't get accepted. So, you know, I messaged them. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they kept saying, yeah, we got you. We're going to fix it. And they never did. So I was kind of fucked. I was kind of pissed because I was going to invest in QuantStamp and the thing went parabolic. But that's also something. Today's video is just going to be a little bit different. Obviously, I had a rough day yesterday. Didn't get much sleep. But I want to just stress the importance, because, see, it's funny because I remember the amount of money I have now. I remember when I was thinking, if I could just have 5% of that, you know, if I could just have a little bit to get going, because when you're real down, it's so funny what you need, man. Life is on such a need basis, man. If you're really, really thirsty, the only thing you want is water. And then before you know it, you're in this mansion, and when you're really, really bored, you know, you need more and more stimulation. It's like, man, I made millions. Now I need to make more millions. Instead of just being thankful for the food that's on your plate, the roof over your head, you forget those things. And what I like to do is practice letting go. So yeah, I could have been super pissed because it's like, man, I wanted to invest in this ICO. I kind of got fucked. It went parabolic. However, I've already made a ton of money. I can chalk this up to letting it go. So if I was to waste energy being angry that I missed out on gains right here, that's energy that's taken away from my future gains. Because life is constantly on the wire, and you're the captain of your ship. So if you're not 100% focused on the destination, what's going on, you can easily steer off. And that's very easy to do when you see these big gains that you miss out on, and you're constantly just saying, man, I could have got this, I could have got that. You're never ever going to find the future value. It's very, very important. The mindset of a billionaire, when you can have it at any point in your life, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Then you just kind of naturally, like a conveyor belt, float in that direction. Man, Populous at $11. It's a very strange time right now, because what's happening is we've had a paradigm shift. With Bitcoin, usually when Bitcoin would go down, the altcoins would go up. But now we have Bitcoin Cash. So when Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin Cash goes up. And the problem is with Bitcoin Cash is it has so much volume, 24-hour volume. Compare it. Look at how much more volume it has than, let's say, Litecoin. That's a lot of volume that's being sucked out of the altcoin market. Because this would not 100%, a lot of this would still be in Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's going down anyway. The altcoins usually go up. Now we have this weird paradigm where when Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin Cash goes up. And then the alts kind of go up with Bitcoin. I've noticed that when Bitcoin was going up, the alts would some go up. But now it's just a very strange game. The game changes like that. Just because you know what you've been doing for the last year or two doesn't mean shit today, and it doesn't mean shit tomorrow. You have these crazy rumors talking about Dragon Slayer, the Bitcoin Cash camp, and the miners are going to have a planned attack against Bitcoin. I have no idea what's rumor, what's not. It's very, very crazy environment when you come to investing, and that's why there's so much money to be made. But it also it requires constant attention. People want to have everything I have, but they don't want to live the life that I had to lead to get to where I am. Because it's a lot of fucking work, man. This is a lot of rabbit hole digging. It's a lot of seeing every angle of it. And right now, we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. So, we have this Dragon Slayer thing to look out after. We have this new dynamic with Bitcoin Cash where it's affecting the alt markets in a different way. Now it's kind of like the alts have been suppressed. And if there's any kind of like really, really big news, usually at this point, not a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, but now we're starting to see it. You saw it with Neo, and then, just having these random bumps. Power Ledger, I mean, that absolutely went parabolic. Just all the news coming out. People are really emotional. So it's it's just a very good time. Like I said, I've been preaching the same thing forever. Find a coin that has a solid team. Put some money in that. It's what I'm doing. I have my Bitcoin. I have my Ethereum. Those are basically like my gold and silver. I kind of lump EOS into that category too. I'm just very confident in EOS. Those are kind of like my I guess you could say Litecoin too, but Neo, I hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and EOS to a different level. I wouldn't say EOS is quite there yet, because obviously Ethereum does have that first mover advantage. So, and then I would have the second group be like EOS, Neo, Litecoin, and then the third group would be the very, very high quality altcoins that I like No Limit Coin, obviously, Populous, PayPal, all of those, all the good ones. I have so many of those that I really like to pick, because those are the kind that can just go parabolic overnight. Tyrion went absolutely insane. I was talking about this one the other day. It went up to, I think, 15 cents. Because it got on Binance. And that's what I'm really happy for. I'm really excited with a coin like No Limit Coin, because you got the Binance bump, you got the Bittrex bump, you got all of these bumps. Also, going to say, I guess we're going to have like a live update with OnG, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. Half the coins in OnG are going to be burned. So the supply is going to be cut in half. And then the rest of that is going to be put into an oracle over 20 years. So that's basically like burning the rest. So there's going to be a very, very small supply. And it's going to be kind of basically the same way where you get US dollars for your upvotes, right? And then you cash them out into ONG, kind of like, with Steam it. You might have $14, but then, that equates to whatever the price of Steam is at the time. So just a coin that's built to be very, very, very expensive. That had the Coin-to-Me partnership. Just a lot of good things on the way. And that's what I'm excited about, because I'm kind of realizing, like, right now you have waves, right? We had a big old wave, and now the kind of picked up most of the value, and now I'm waiting for that second wave, because right now I just think there's a bunch of bullshit going on. There's a bunch of bullshit going on. So you just have to be very, very, this is not the time to just go randomly hunting coins and randomly hunting ICOs that you don't know much about, because there's more scams now than ever. The scammers are always a little late. The true people come in, and then there's just like a shadow of scammers. And now I believe we're going to have that next big boom mid-2018. So it's just a really good time to stay focused, do the due diligence. It's crazy. Like, you just never know. These coins are, we take for granted as crypto people how much gains. It's like Ethereum. Yeah, man, it was dead for what, 3-4 months and at the same price, and then it grows 10% and 20%, 30% in a few days. That's not, you don't get that in the real world. That's obnoxiously good. And I just believe as crypto as a whole, if we got spoiled. And that's funny, because people are just creatures of havoc. They're like, man, we've gotten 1,000% gains before. We deserve them again. And I'm not saying you can't get them, but they're going to be harder to find, and they're going to come in waves. It's not, it just can't constantly go up. And a lot of people bought on the up. A lot of people didn't buy when, I remember buying Ethereum. I was late to the game, but, I was buying Ethereum during that one crash when it was at 170, the original one, 150, 140, and I was investing in ICOs like MyBit. That's one thing people don't realize about MyBit's price is you got it during the epic crash when, Ethereum was 175. So really, you're still kind of in the green if you're talking about the price you actually got MyBit for and what it is. So, man, 149. Remember that? Who's buying down here? Who's the fucking jackass buying when it's down here? I was the jackass. I was buying it from 170 and down. Once it hit about 175, I was buying it 175 and down. Right now, hell, I don't really like to buy things on the pump, because I know no matter how badass cryptocurrencies are, there usually is always some kind of pullback. There's some kind of bad news. Some asshole somewhere with a lot of power is going to say something about Bitcoin or say something about Ethereum, and it's going to cause the price to go down 20%. So I'm not a fan of just buying after it just pumped like hell, because when something pumps, that means a lot of people are in the green. And that means not only do you have to fight bad news, but you have to fight good news from other coins. Because if there's another coin that comes out with super good news, people might take their profits from Ethereum thinking, oh, well, Ethereum's market cap is so high, it's very doubtful that it's just going to go 3x. So it's just a beautiful game. Right now is a really good time to be trading. I'm grooming my trading guys now. I'm going, like I said, I'm going to be taking that really, really slow. It obviously requires a extreme amount of trust. And I might get like some kind of, YouTube channel with them going so they can kind of teach what I'm teaching them. Because, I just like to get on and talk. But, there's one of the traders I have is a really, he'd be a really good teacher. Learns really quick. And I can really teach people, because a lot of people like to look at the charts and saying, oh, we have support here, we have support there. I do it differently, guys. I don't do anything like you're ever going to fucking see, man. I look at the month average and I set audacious lures. I'm like, man, if they sell me, at this price, then that's cool. If not, then I have Bitcoin. And that's just kind of how I've always done my trading. And it's always worked out very well. And I do the same with selling, because it's very hard to have a technical analysis on something when news can cause such big dips. Remember this? What's your technical analysis right here, right before the China FUD? I mean, how did you know it was just going to drop off the face of the earth the very next day? Because what happens is news affects buy and sell orders. So you might be looking, oh, look at the volume, look at the strength, look at the psychological, ups and downs. But then, all of that goes out the window if China says, oh, Bitcoin's banned. Like that one time, just falls off the face of the earth. Or Neo comes out and says something positive about China, right? Then just China comes out and says something popular about Neo. Then it just breaks those all-time highs. So it's Monero is one thing I have been studying because I noticed that everybody, I know it's a privacy coin, but you know, so many people are getting caught trying to mine it, like Pirate Bay. They even said you know, the MMA site. So it's pretty crazy. I see a lot of and there's more. There's a lot of people who are getting caught like trying to mine Monero through your resources, like your browser and all that. So very interesting, but it's just been a silent creeper. But yeah, guys, got a lot to do today. Just been a crazy fucking week, and gonna just kill it here. All right, peace, cheers.